Good morning, Zero here, and today we're going to the wonderful world of anime. That's right, I'm going to use my nerd news card to talk about anime this time because it's under attack once again. Because of course it is. If it's not video games, it's the anime industry that somebody wants to go after for one reason or another because they can't understand it, don't want to understand it, or they just think it's the devil. Yeah, we're getting into those kinds of arguments again. So let's just get into it, shall we? Now, we've got two things here. We've got one here in the States and another one in Australia, by the way, just in case you were curious. But yeah, ran across these things and was just like, again, really? How many times must we tell you, Boomer? Stop it. Anyway, but seriously, why are we here again? What is the point to this? So, apparently Dragon Ball Z is criticized by U.S. Congressional candidate for being too sexualized. Okay, so what has happened is somebody discovered what Rule 34 was, right? And they were on Pornhub or something and typed in Boma or whatever, and they got the secret link for their secret sauce or whatever, and now they've discovered this, and now they've got to get rid of it because they just realized that their holier than thou persona won't allow them to actually use it or look at it or anything else like that. But yeah, so let's just sort of look at this for a second. We're not going to go over it word from word, of course, but K.W. Miller, who is apparently an independent running for Congress. Miller, do me a favor and stop. Get out now. Anyway, because I really don't want to sit here and just talk about you over and over again for asinine things like this. Because you're dumb. Anyway, but yeah, he is running for Congress, he's a congressional candidate, if I can even say words, because we know I can't do English. English is not a me thing. But one of his most recent attempts to sway the people to his way of thinking was apparently accusing Dragon Ball Z of being a top issue regarding anime porn. Okay, so I'm going to Google Rule 30. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to advise you to do it. If you're over the age of 18, go Google Rule 34 something that's anime related, or that's, I don't know, Marvel related, or anything else for that matter, because if it's been created, there's probably a Rule 34 for it. And that includes hot dogs and buns and shakes and you know what, forget it. There's a meme there. There was, I've seen it. Anyway, but the exact sentiments of his tweet are apparently, these are quotes of Miller's, K.W. Miller quotes. They are now introducing a great deal of anime porn into the internet matrix. Dude, where have you been since the 90s? Anyway, because seriously, if anyone doesn't know something, let me tell you a little secret. Here's the secret. The internet is for porn. All right, that's my secret. That's the secret that you don't know that you should know. And if you want, get on YouTube or BitChute. I don't know if it is on BitChute, but there's this old video of a song where the internet is for porn. Type that in and see what you got. It's catchy. It's a catchy thing. Anyway, he then follows it up by saying Dragon Ball Z is on the top issue here. They are sexualizing cartoon characters to push a depraved agenda on our kids. No, they're not. No, they're not. Your kid may be watching the Toonami version of Dragon Ball Z or whatever, version that they're watching on Cartoon Network or whatever, if that's even airing on Cartoon Network anymore. When I was growing up, this is how it was. We had Toonami start, right? And it was like Thundercats and, was it Thundercats? No. Anyway, what I remember is Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, and something else that I can't quite remember. And it started at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't get home until about 4, so I missed the first 2 shows. But I was always able to catch, the last 2. Which was usually like Dragon Ball Z and something else or whatnot, right? And then sometimes I'd catch the other stuff or whatnot. Those have been sanitized. They've been, censored to the point that it's okay to be on the kids show network, right? And you had to go out of your way to find the one where there's actually blood on the characters. Like, I have no idea where this picture is from. I mean, other than it's Vegeta from DBZ or Dragon Ball, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. I sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about. I meant what specific scene this is from, right? So, for instance, if they were in the middle of a battle and there was a scene similar to this taking place, and he's got the hole in the chest there, chances are there'd be blood dripping from there'd be bruises and blood up in here, and so on and so forth if you find the uncut versions of this. And then, of course, maybe there's some cursing in there, and instead we get things where Kakarot is, jumping up because he got too close to the lava, and Namek trying to escape and yells, "Oh my butt," or "bum," or "B word," or "B something like that, instead of saying "oh my ass," right? That's what the kids are exposed to. They're not exposed to internet anime porn, okay? It's not the gateway drug into anime porn, it's the gateway into anime and manga. If you want to look at porn, you have to look at porn like everybody else in the world and go search actual porn. You don't have, it's just not going to be thrown at you unless you got safe search off. Anyway, but yeah, a depraved agenda on our kids. And I love this last quote. When will it stop? When will it end? Okay, so if there's an awkward jump, it's because my phone rang and I had to cut off some. But KW Miller, I'm going to let you in on a little secret to that. The when will it stop? When will it ever end? It will never. As long as the internet exists, Rule 34 is going to exist. Even without the internet, it's probably still going to exist. It will always be there. Ever. Forever. It will happen. As long as human beings are interested in porn will be there, right? That's what it is. So let's segue, because we've talked enough about KW Miller here. The moronic congressional candidate who wants to go the Bible Belt way of thinking, apparently, when it comes to anime and porn. We're going to go over to Australia for a split second to talk about some stuff. But before then, we need to look at this particular term right here and talk about it. The Australia Classification Board. What is the ACB or CB? It is an Australia government statutory body responsible for the classification and censorship of films, video games, and publications for exhibition, sale, or hire in Australia. Think the ESRB, or whatever the rating is called for our movies or whatnot, whoever does that, or the PEGI system over in Europe and things like that. Think that. Right, that's what we're dealing with. But anyway, we have a clarification board response to a senator's call to ban anime, because once again, anime is doing the naughty again, and we have to stop it, because we have to think of the children like we always do. And I gosh, there is not enough coffee in the world for me today. Like, this is it. This is all I've got. There's not much in here left. I need a little bit of Irish cream or something in there. A little bit of little snoggers, whatever the heck it's called. Some I don't know what it's called, Bailey's or something. Anyway, needs to get in there. I need some of that. But yeah, apparently there was claims from a senator that the classification board was making decisions in isolation to criminal law. I'm not 100% sure what that even means in the context that was given. Still don't know, other than the fact that, from what I can gather from actually looking at the whole thing, from what I could gather was this senator thinks they're making classifications on anime and animated films that is separate from actual criminal law because they believe that it violates criminal law. Something like that. Anyway, but the Congressional Board Director has responded, reminding the senator that the censor's duty is not an assessment of genre type or whether anime depicts real people or animated characters. In other words, we're making arguments on, because the X is happening to an animated character, if X was happening to as if it was happening to a real person in real time kind of deal. That sort of argument, which is ass backwards to begin with, because we're talking about our 2D waifus right now, right? They're not real. We all know they're not real at this point, or at least not yet anyway. Take a look at the Japanese. They're making leaps and bounds in holographic and other technology. Just saying, your 2D waifu might be more realistic than you think. Anyway, jokes aside, somebody please take that out of context. Anyway, but yeah. So the statement was effectively required after a speech in the upper house by Senator Sterling Griff, who earlier this week called for an immediate review of all Japanese anime movies in Australia and a ban on certain titles like Sword Art Online Extra Edition, which I can't actually tell you anything about because I've never seen that. Goblin Slayer, No Game, No Life, which I have seen both of, and others. And I just can't help but think, what is so wrong? Okay. I remember the dust up when Goblin Slayer came out and people were like, oh my gosh, that scene in the first episode. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, because they can't handle mature themes. Shows like No Game, No Life and Goblin Slayer, as far as I'm aware, are mature rated shows. They are for a mature audience. They're not for kids. It's again looking at Pokemon and then looking at Goblin Slayer and going, oh my gosh, and my children are watching that? Pokemon was fine, but Goblin Slayer? No, they're not. That's not the thing. Pokemon is a different thing for a different level of maturity and children. Doesn't mean that adults don't enjoy it either, right? That's a thing that can happen too. Adults can like things, that aren't necessarily just for children. That's a reason why we have ratings like E10 or E for everyone, but it's not specifically dedicated toward children. When we do have something that's dedicated towards children, you get like the EC rating, early childhood, which is an ESRB rating, for video games, or I think it's early childhood. Anyway, where it's actually that. And then we do have ratings like AO, which is adult only. Those are games that are adult only. Certain games very rarely get that title as well. But apparently the classification board did say that they are aware, quote, aware of concerns about the clarification of certain anime as well as comic books featuring manga-style drawings not being classified by the board. But yeah. So regarding the classification of series like your manga, I can't even say that one. Your manga sensei, which I had to go look up real quick, but I'll get to it. Anderson noted that the board classified films according to the film guidelines and that there are no separate guidelines for classification of anime. The film guidelines require an assessment of impact on 6 classifiable elements: themes, violence, sex, coarse language, drug use, and nudity, not an assessment of the genre type or whether the film depicts real people or animated characters, like it should be, because, you know, anyway. But yeah, that's how you get your classification. So what is your manga sensei? I know I'm saying it wrong, probably somebody can roast me about it later, but this is it. It's over on Crunchyroll right now, which you can go and look and watch, you know, the 10 or so 12 episodes that are up, which I might actually go check out myself now that I know it exists. But apparently about the show, Masamune Izumi is a high school student who writes light novels. Saguri Uzumi is a shut-in who never leaves her room. A year ago, she became Masamune's little sister, but one day Masamune discovered a shocking twist. The artist, your manga, the name of the show, who has been drawing illustrations for his novels, is none other than his little sister, Saguri. His cute little sister, or his cute little shut-in of a sister who has been living under his roof, is using an obscene pen name and draws lewd illustrations. All right, that's what this show is about, right? And it's on Crunchyroll. Why does that matter? Real quick, if it's on Crunchyroll, it can't be that bad. Wasn't it Crunchyroll who had a fit over Izuki, reviewers or something like that? Gosh, I can't remember what it is. I never finished it. Anyway, but you know, that one particular one where they did an episode, aired it, and then was like, oh no, this one's a bit too far into the realm of hentai. We need to drop it real quick. Those people, if they've got it on their site, chances are it's not that bad. And if you really, really want to go after an anime for being, you know, straight up hentai or softcore hentai or whatever you want to talk about it, Reviewers is the one to go after, but not this, not Sword Art Online, not you know, the other things, Goblin Slayer, No Game No Life, or anything else like that. They've got suggestive themes. There's nudity, there's drug use, there's language, you know, there's maybe some softcore, almost possibly, but never actually anything porn that happens in those shows. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of, you know, whatever it is that we're trying to protect the children from. But films can be classified in classification categories from G to R18+, with an X18+ category, which I'm going to assume is like the triple X or adult only ratings, limited to films containing sexual explicit activity. Yeah, so like triple X. Films in the anime genre have been classified across a range of categories, including M, MA15+, R18+, and RC. RC being the refused classification, meaning they could not classify it as it somehow, it did not fit within the bounds of an R18+ category. But didn't also, I guess, show explicit sexual activity to give it an X18+ category. So, you know, you've got a congressional candidate over here who is wanting to, you know, shut down anime. You've got the Australian senator who wants to shut down anime. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. And yes, I am a weeb, as well as a nerd who plays lots and lots of video games. But let me know what you think down in the comments below, and we'll talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.